What's up, guys? Back with another video. As you can see, we got the maintenance notice for this upcoming update. Alright, so how the maintenance is, it's going to be on Christmas night, and it'll be the day after Christmas when the update lands. So it's going to be a day late, so that way everybody can enjoy their holidays and not have to worry about anything. So like I said, the update will be on Christmas night around 6 o'clock, and then it'll be up at 2 or 3 in the morning the next morning, so you don't have to worry about have to miss Christmas with the family and stuff like that. All right, so now we're gonna get into the patch notes. All right, so Hawkeye and Bullseye and Gambit and Sharon Rogers are all getting new uniforms, and Hawkeye, Bullseye, and Gambit are getting a tier 4. We're getting a new sector in Dispatch, which is nice. Alright, so we're going to talk about the Wastelanders first. So Old Man Hawkeye is going to still be a speed superhero, uniformed at 1050. Alright, everything is basically the same with Hawkeye. His uniform effect increased chain hit damage by 25%, guard break immunity with 100% chance to increase critical damage by 50% on crit attacks. Alright, his tier 2 passive, he still keeps the crit damage increased by 30%, increase guaranteed dodge and skill damage bonus damage. His 4-star passive still has the increased guaranteed crit rate, ignores target dodge rate, and 50% chance to penetrate. The first skill has bleed, second has burn and paralysis. Third skill still keeps the off-frame ignore. It has shock and silence, and it is a V-pad. And it has a 40% heal with damage immunity and increase all basic attack. Alright, the fourth skill has burn, chill, poison, freeze, and paralysis. So it has a lot of elemental in that attack. He has a 80%, he still keeps the 80% damage proc on the fourth. And the fifth skill has burn, invincible, and a 50-20 frenzy buff. Alright, so not too much for Hawkeye. He does have a little bit of ABX, ABL potential, but we'll just have to wait and see, because he is a male, and most speed males are not used in ABX at all. Alright, now next on Bullseye. He's still a speed character, super villain. His uniform effect, crit damage increase, all basic attack increase, and increased chain hit damage. Alright, his tier 2 passive, he has a guaranteed crit rate, ignore dodge rate, and skill damage bonus damage also. His 4-star passive, he has 70% chance to penetrate also. His first skill has silence. Second has incapacitation and paralysis. Third skill has burn with increase of all of basic attack by 40%. The fourth skill has burn and paralysis with a 30% heal, invincible, and a 100% damage proc. And the fifth has burn and a 45-35 frenzy buff with damage immunity. So he has burn and paralysis and silence. So he does have ABX potential, maybe just for that one day. Just have to wait and see what else he could do. Alright, and the seasonal uniforms for Gambit and Sharon Rogers will be on New Year's Eve. So you'll have to wait a week after the update for Hawkeye and Bullseye. So you have a week of Hawkeye and Bullseye. Then on Christmas Eve, on New Year's Eve, that's when they'll drop the seasonals. All right. And if you do use a web shop, the tokens will not be included. So you'll still have to go through the normal Future Fight shop. All right. Now, Sharon Rogers, still kind of because why would you give her another uniform when Crescent was still on the board for the update, and we do need a tier 4 combat female. So anyway, she stays a blast superhero, but this one is for money. So you're free to play. You can skip this uniform. All right. She still keeps the increased chain hit damage, the 40% damage reduction. She does get a new line of text with the increased basic damage dealt to boss types by 10%, which is very new. Her leadership stays the same. Her tier 2 passive stays the same. Her 4-star passive stays the same. She still has, she has the stun and fracture on the first skill, incapacitation and paralysis on the second. She has chill and freeze now on her third with damage immunity, and she still has the accumulation where she has to take hits to deal more damage, so that stays the same. She has the V-pad on her fourth, which is new. She has freeze and silence, invincible, and a 6% damage proc. And her fifth skill has chill, freeze, and a 35% heal. So her rotation's still the same, where it's 3, take a hit, 5, 4. So there's nothing too much. She just has freeze and chill, just because it's a winter uniform. All right. Now, this is the interesting one. My boy Gambit. I love mutants. So if you have been following me for a while, everybody should know I love the X-Men. All right. So he's a blast superhero. His uniform is going to be full cost, $17.50. All right. So his uniform effect, he has an increased 30% increase of energy attack. Ignores dodge rate by 30% and 20% damage reduction. His Royal Flush tier 2 passive, he still keeps the chain hit damage and guaranteed crit rate, and the skill damage bonus damage. His 4-star passive, he increases his crit damage by 35%. His first skill has a V-pad. Second skill has paralysis with a 10% chance to penetrate. The third skill has burn and snare, 8 times barrier, and he does gain accumulation. So he never had accumulation on none of his skills on his old uniform. All right. His fourth skill, he has fracture, 30% heal and damage immunity, and increases basic attack by 50%. And the fifth, he keeps the V-pad on the fifth. He has silence and paralysis, invincible, and a 50-40 frenzy buff. So he has silence, paralysis, and burn, and then he has fracture and snare. So a little bit of ABX, ABL mixed into his kit. But looks really good for your boy Gambit. So just have to wait and see. Now the tier 4s for Hawkeye, Bullseye, and Gambit. Hawkeye increases all basic attack by 30%. And when he increases his attack by 30%, it goes up to 90% for 5 seconds. So he just increases his basic attack, which everybody has. Bullseye increases all basic attack by 50%, but he increases basic damage dealt to enemies with 50% HP or higher by 40, and then does the same with 50% or lower by 60. So it does hit harder when their HP is below 60%. So that's very new. But we just have to wait and see how well that is if you do tier 4 bullseye. Me personally, I'm going to tier 4 Gambit because, say it with me, I love mutants. Alright, this is very new also, where it applies critical hit to all attacks and increases crit damage by 120% for 10 seconds. So he will be critting on every attack he does, which Gambit does hit really, really hard. So we will definitely check that out. Definitely. Alright. Baron Zemo and Crossbones are getting awakening skills, which Baron Zemo should have had one for a long time. He is a leadership, nothing else. Crossbones, I think he has a leadership. Not sure, but I'll check that out. But they are getting awakening skills, which a lot of slashing and blowing up with bombs. So that's their awakening skills. So that's that. Now, dispatch mission sector 14. I'm ready for this one. Now, it will be dropping tier 4 materials. So Carbonadium is going to be in this one. I kind of wish it would have been Soul the Faltine, because we need more of that. But as you can see, they are coming with a 15. So hopefully that's not Life Seed, because they're known to kind of mess things up when they do stuff like that. So, but I will be covering Sector 14 once this is live. So, guaranteed to get gold, energy, carbo, and the support tokens in this sector. So, make sure if you can't do all the sectors, you know what to do. Get your swords right, your cars right, your characters right, and just try to get as far as you can to try to get more tier 4 materials. Alright, and we're getting the new artifacts. So Bullseyes is 80% chance to increase basic critical damage by 35% on critical attacks. It is what it is on that one. Gambit, he has increased basic damage dealt to supervillains and aliens. So ABL with that one. So just have to wait and see. Baron Zemo, it should have been a support artifact, but that's fine. He has ignores, dodge rate, and increases all attack. And Crossbones has increased all attack and increased max HP. Those are the artifacts, and they are revamping Sharon Rogers. So you can farm this one for free in Dimension Rifts. So the text before, and it was a useless artifact. It increases her instinct crit rate and instant crit damage, but now they're adding a new text to it after the update. Is going to be increases basic damage dealt to supervillains by 15%. So that's really good. It's really, really good. And we're getting the Future Pass, where you'll get Hawkeye and Bullseye. And then we got a Captain Marvel symbol, probably from Otherworld Battle. Then we're getting a Goodbye 2024 Gambit card, which is nice. Then the Sharon Rogers card, if you probably from a new event. Alright, other improvements, as I said before, the swords, I'll probably explain a little bit more once we have the visuals, because there is a lot to go over with the swords. Then you can filter your heroes by positions and abilities. Okay. Let's see what else. They add a friendly match in otherworld battle, so you can see how good your friends and your alliances teams are, stuff like that. Then we got categories have been added to the status board. As you can see, you can go to all, PvP or PvE. All right, and you can acquire all from the achievement rewards all at once. Once you start collecting everything, you just acquire everything instead of just hitting every single button. And this is new. This is custom gear buff activation visual effects. So when your CTP is now activated, it's going to be in the gray. When your CTP activates for the one you do have on your character for itself, it's going to be green. And then the support CTP, like a liberation or an insight, will be orange. And as you can see in the corner right here with a Jean Grey, the bit bulky icons. And then once they activate, that will show the image in which they did show the colors, so you shouldn't be confused on which CTP has been activated, but it will show which CTP activated for your character, and it'll be displayed on the hero's portrait when this custom gear effect is applied. All right. Feature to search on bios and X genes in the rank up material tab in the inventory has been added. All right, and then the new text right here, which is somewhat important. The same boss as the current boss will not appear when changing today's world boss for ultimate or legend. So that means you can't re-roll the same boss 2 or 3 times in a row. So that's happened to me before, where I spent a god awful amount of gold trying to re-roll my boss, and I would get the same one back to back to back. So that's a waste of gold. So after that, they will not be doing that. You'll still roll them, maybe like after 4 or 5 tries, but it won't be like a back to back thing. So, all right. So that's the patch notes. Probably the only one really that's caught my eye is Gambit, just because Bullseye may just take over one of the ABX, which if you tier 4 Gwenpool, she could do basically all of it. Supervillain and female supervillain and speed character if you don't have Luna. So yeah. Hawkeye, don't know what to say about that one, but we have to wait and see. But hit me in the comment box down below. Let me know what y'all guys think of the patch notes. And if you could tier 4 anybody, let me know which one would you tier 4. Yeah, and smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.